Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Summer 2023 International Marketing. So what we're going to do today is do an overview of the class, talk about what we are going to do and the expectations. We are only meeting 2 days. Did y'all get that from the syllabus, from the announcements? And you should have also gotten this from the attendance verification quiz. Good morning. We are only going to meet 2 days today, which is Wednesday, May 31st, and on July 17th. Okay, on July 17th, you're going to give a presentation. And your presentation will be about an international marketing project. Okay, overall, and this is something I was saying to my two that were here earlier. When you think international marketing, you probably think the class is going to be a whole lot about different marketing systems in different international markets. Makes sense. It is a little bit of that, but it's mostly a history lesson. You're going to learn about our history in dealing with other countries and different things that you may have learned in some other classes, like embargoes, tariffs, different barters, trade laws and customs that we have. But those things do shape what we do as a country and how we interact and how we trade with other countries. We will also, throughout the text and the units, look at how some of those things may have changed over the years, and even since the book has been published, by looking at current articles. And that'll be part of your homework assignment so that we can keep up with some things going on. I'll tell you that one thing that you probably learned about in high school or maybe in an economics class since you've been here is NAFTA, North American Free Trade Act. That has totally changed since the publication of this book, and definitely since the history of that law. But this is again another way and an example of how those type of rules shape what we how we interact with different countries. So that's just one example. Okay, now so one thing that I want to stress is that it's going to be very important to follow the schedule, and it's going to be very important to keep up with the units. Okay, the units will open on a weekly basis, and it is set so that you know exactly what is due on what day and what time. Just follow the units. Okay, now what you will learn in the units will build upon all semester long and will help you to do this project. Okay, you will get some information that is about how things are different in different markets. Okay, now if you had me in class before, you know I probably taught your head off about all my international experiences. Okay, so one of the things you're going to do is explore my favorite international country. What do you think that is? It's Dubai. It's Dubai, okay? So Dubai is in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. So a lot of the supplemental videos that you have in the units are going to be based around Dubai. Okay? Dubai is one of the most highly sought after destinations in the world. And people ask me all the time, what's it like? It's beautiful. And okay, let me tell you, the first time, and some of y'all know this already, the first time I had the opportunity to go to Dubai, I did not go. I will, very transparent moment with you, I looked on the map and said, I ain't going over there. Okay? And I think y'all, seriously, I worried myself sick. Okay? But I ended up having to have a surgery, and another professor had to go in my place. And every time I saw her, she was like, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling okay? If you get sick, just let me know. Because at my previous institution, I traveled somewhere every 6 months. Okay, so but what I learned, and you're going to learn about some of these topics in this class and throughout the semester, is that it was a very eye-opening experience for me when I first went. I asked my students, like when they got back, like, what was it like? Can you tell me about it? And they would say things like, you have to see it for yourself. They were like, oh, the pictures don't do it justice. What you see on TV, and they were absolutely correct. Okay, y'all too young to remember the Smurfs. Y'all ever looked at the commercial, the cartoon, the Smurfs? And when the Smurfs would get amazed, especially maybe like when Papa Smurf would do his magic, they go, ooh, that's how I was in Dubai. Okay, so but it's like that, and usually. But we will not meet. I will have some of my partners from Dubai Skype in. I do have some videos embedded in, some talks that they did for me. Well, one of them is a talk that they did in the international. We had an international virtual study abroad about 2 years ago now, and they were gracious enough to send me the recordings. So one of the things you're going to watch in one of the units is a video called Coffee with an Emirati. Okay, y'all, it's for classroom purposes only, so please don't share it outside of the classroom. But you'll learn about the culture. Food is a very important part of any culture, right? But coffee is very important in the Arabic culture. Okay, you're always brewing coffee. It's black Arabic coffee. They serve it to you in a little cup about that big, and it give you lockjaw. I mean, it is nasty. Okay, but it's designed to drink in 2 sips, and you done. All right. So with that, it's custom that Emiratis, they are United Arab Emirates, translates almost like the United States. So just like we are United States of America, they are the United Arab Emirates. It's 8 states or Emirates within the UAE, and like we are called Americans, they are called Emiratis. Okay, so that's very custom, and you don't turn it down. So I just chug my coffee and smile. All right, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. But because they are hospitable people, they will serve it with like sugar cubes for Americans. But that's part of the culture. So when you look at that, you're going to learn a whole lot about why this coffee is so important. And one thing that I would say is that traveling abroad does open your eyes to other people's customs and cultures and so forth. The first time I took some students over there, y'all ever been on an elevator and maybe a different demographic? It's a bunch of people that look like us on the elevator, and somebody from a different demographic, and the door open and they jump. That ever happened to y'all? So I've got all of my students that look like me on this elevator. We're checking into the hotel. The doors open, and there are a bunch of Emirati women standing in front of the door with their jihadis on, and they jump. Now, look at y'all. Now, we in these people country, and y'all over here acting like folks treat us home. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? But, one topic that you will be introduced to in Unit 1, Chapter 1, that is going to come up in every term is self-reference criterion. Okay, and in this self-reference criterion conversation, it basically means that we come with our own ideas, our own thoughts and feelings, and what it is. Okay, if you pull it up on a map, the UAE, Dubai is on the tip of the peninsula, and it sits in the Persian Gulf. Okay, my first time going there, y'all. My Owens Ground tour coordinator says, I've got a special treat for you. We're going to take you on a cruise today. And it went around the Persian Gulf and circled and come back. And I said, y'all not taking me in that body of water. That is a no for me. Okay, and I didn't do it, but there are also and in the text we start to talk about that area of the world. There are some discrepancies about what the body of water should be called. On one of my trips to Dubai, one of my co-workers, another professor, traveled with me, and again, this is at a previous institution, and he was Iranian. And you will hear about this company in one of the presentations in the chapter. We were at this company called Nakheel. I think it's like Nahkeel. Nakheel is the real estate company that manages the Palm Island. So if y'all know anything about Dubai, anybody know anything about how they have these man-made islands over there? That's the country, or the company rather, that manages those. The lady that was giving a presentation, their VP of marketing, Maria, was referring to the body of water as the Arabian Gulf. My Iranian counterpart was so livid because of the history behind that, okay, that we had to remove him from the building because he and the lady started getting into it. And by this time, this is probably my 5th or 6th time meeting this lady. Never had a problem, always a beautiful presentation. But you could not get him to think otherwise, that she was calling it the Arabian Gulf to offend him because she recognized that he was from Iran. Okay. And we normally call it the Persian Gulf. But again, there's history in that you are going to have to read and learn about. Okay. Some other topics that we will discuss in this chapter and throughout the units, you'll learn about typical things like the World Bank, WHO, NATO, and these are probably terms that you all have heard before, but putting it into context and what does it have to do with marketing. So, which speaks back to why this is a history lesson. And your text takes you on a journey to where international trade started to where we are now. Okay, so once you're introduced to some of the most basic terms, guess what? Accounting. There is a section of that is related to accounting in this as well. As we talk about the International Monetary Fund and our trade system and checks and balances. So we have different courses that you all have to take throughout the major. So you are going to get to visit your old friend accountant just a little bit in this class. Okay. So some of these terms that's going to be used in that section should be familiar to you from the accounting class. All right. So your text is going to start out on Silk Road. It's going to take you on a journey through Silk Road. Silk Road is in China and is credited to be the birth of international trade, where people traded silk, okay, spices were a very popular trade at that time, and how it evolved. And that area still of course it still exists today, but it's still highly known for trade. Okay, my favorite Starbucks is on Silk Road in Beijing. They are the only Starbucks in the world that I have been to, and I've been to Starbucks on 5 continents, that can get my toffee nut latte right. In Unit 1, you are going to see a video of me talking about this particular Starbucks and where it is, but the relation back to the text. On what is Silk Road now is a market called the Silk Market. And I tell you, y'all, when I go to the silk market, I tear it down, okay? Because you can find all the like products really cheap because of where we are, and they are actually made there. As the text, as we go through and explore the different countries and areas, we do look at like what was their original source of trade and their economic providers. China was also, especially at this time, known for fish, pearls. At this time, the silk, jade was and still is very popular. And now we could just think of just about everything. Probably most of the stuff I got on today is made in China, right? Including my hair. All right. So, but we're also going to look at that in terms of the country that we will study for our project, which is the UAE. Okay, so most people know about Dubai as being a tourist destination. Okay, so that is the economic driver now. Before that, they were pearl divers and fishermen. Okay, so, and I hate this thing isn't working. Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll roll with it and see if I can get into it. But within, I tell you what, this video is not in there, but I'll add it. Okay, and it's just going to help you with the project. There is a video that I'm going to show you about a little guy named Ali, A-L-I. We would normally say Ali, like Muhammad Ali, but he pronounces his name Ali. Okay, Ali his video gives you a good example of how Dubai went from where it was to where it is today. It's only been about 40 years since the real economic development started happening in the UAE, and particularly Dubai. Before tourism, their major source of income were people were pearl divers and fishermen. Pearl diving and fishermen. Okay? And though most people think that, where do you think they get their money from now? Or what is your thought process about where their source of economic stability comes from for the country rather? Most people think oil because of where they are. Where oil was discovered, but what Sheikh Mohammed did was invest. And he had a vision for Dubai to be this tourist capital of the world. Now, Dubai is not actually the capital of UAE, though most people, that's probably like the only city that they can name. The capital of the UAE is Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. And it translates as Father Antelope. Okay? Because, y'all, this place is desert. It's a desert, okay? And it was highly populated with antelope. So hence the name for the capital, Abu Dhabi, Father Antelope. So Dubai is not the capital. But as you will see in the video, and I am not going to sit up here and play this particular video about the Palm Islands, but you're going to need to watch it. It's about an hour and a half long. Okay. So I'm going to have to trust y'all to watch it. Okay, but you're going to need to watch it to do the project. All right, so put a pin in it. So once this oil was discovered, they used the money made from it to develop the country. Okay, so fast forward the first thing that was done was to create this idea of tourism. Okay. And the Burj Khalifa was built. It just translates as King Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. So it was a sight to see, and it was an attraction. Another popular building that you'll see in Dubai is the Burj Al Arab, the sailboat-shaped hotel. Those rooms and that hotel can range anywhere from $5,000 a night and up. Inside the Burj Al Arab, the elevators plated with gold. The first time I walked in there, I stepped on a gold elevator and went down to a gold submarine that took me to an underwater restaurant that had a panoramic view of the ocean, and I could see all those exotic fish and different things coming in, and it was very nice. But I was like, Lord, I hope this thing don't crack while I'm down here. Also, at one time I was there, Steve Harvey landed on the helipad. Yes, Steve and Marjorie. So they saw, I say they because the students ventured out more than I do. A lot of celebrities over there. Janet Jackson married a prince from that area. And I'm trying to think of the year. I want to say it was 17. Maybe she was giving a concert. My students will venture out. They've seen some of these rappers over there. But it is a real, luxury spot destination. But anyway, so I say all that to say is when you're doing this project, and I'm going to introduce this project, but I'm kind of setting it up for y'all. Okay. All these pieces that made Dubai what it is. Now, let's go back to where I said put a pin there about this hour-and-a-half long video I'm asking you to watch. Okay? So, and it is evolved around the tourism. So, we started out with, they built the Burj Khalifa, and then the Burj Al Arab. And so, what's next? What are we going to do? So the Sheikh had a vision to do these man-made islands, and it's shaped like a palm. They call it a palm because the base of it is a palm tree. It spreads out. This was a massive capital project that took people from around the world. Now, guess what, y'all? All of this is a part of the marketing as far as tourism is concerned for this city, because it's being promoted as a way and a reason for people to come to attract the folks. Okay, so in this video you're going to see how it was built and how building it became a part of the story for the country. And from the palm, they expanded to the world. So there are islands, individual islands that are shaped like the countries. And inside the United States, the piece that's the United States, for example, there are little islands that are shaped like each state. And when you look at it from above, it looks like a map of the world. Okay, so this project and the money from this real estate has a lot to do with funding the tourism. Okay, now a term that you'll be introduced to in the text is you're going to learn about foreign nationals. Okay, now when you go to Dubai, the Emiratis are not who you're going to see working. English is the official business language, and they really take care of their employees. Okay, so anybody, you may know somebody. A lot of teachers will take a job and go over there and stay and make like crazy money. I got a cousin that's been teaching over there for 8 years, and he's like, I ain't never coming home. Okay, and it's nice there, but it gets hot, y'all. It gets really hot. But their heat is a different type of heat. It's a dry heat, unlike that Georgia heat is like, get on you, stick on you, right? It's a little different there. But it can get up to 120, 125 degrees in the summer. I've never been there during that time. I won't go past April because after that it starts to get really hot. But with how they set up their foreign nationals, the companies provide their food, their clothing, their transportation, and their housing. So everything that they make is straight profit. So you will see people from all kinds of different countries, but you're going to see a lot of in the burbs, like how we say cities or counties, they call them burbs. So in the burbs area, you'll see a lot of like Western Unions and things like that for people to send money home. So they'll come and take that risk and make money for their family and send the money home. And they're not taxed unless they're United States citizens. And that has to do with how our system is set up. So if y'all ever file your own income tax, it'll ask you something like, if you made any money in another country. So we get taxed differently as Americans than any other foreign nationals. One other thing that you're going to learn, I think this is about unit 7. There's only 8 units, by the way, is how the banking system is different. How does a bank make its money over here? How do we make our money? Lending and borrowing, and something's calculated in that to make them make money. Not in Dubai. They, as an Arabic country, their banking system is built off of Sharia law and based off of the Quran. In that law, they don't charge interest. So how they make their money? How do they make their money then? Okay? This is another video that y'all gonna have to watch. The presentation. I know Francis is looking like not another video. Okay, that explains it. So which is a good segue for us to start talking about this project. So in this project, you will pitch a business to that will be in Dubai, and you're going to have to tell me what kind of business it is. But one of the main things that you will have to tell me is, one, where it's going to be, location, and you're also going to have to tell me what type of partnership, if any, you are going to do to launch your business. Okay, now traditionally there are 2 ways to do business in Dubai. The land is owned by the Emiratis. It's a place that I can really say that the government takes care of its people. All right. Emiratis get free health care. They get free education. And on up to college, doctorate, or whatever they want to do. The most beautiful hospital I ever seen in my life. And Lord knows I wish for nobody to be in one. But in Abu Dhabi, there is a Cleveland Clinic, named after the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. So, because they get free health care, they can go anywhere in the world they want to get it. And when some Emiratis were unfortunately having cancer, the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio here is touted as one of the top places for cancer treatment in the world. So they were wanting to come over here. The government paying them to come over here and paying for their health care. And eventually the sheikh pays a visit and said, hey, I want to see what y'all doing over here because my people want to come here to get treatment. So they basically replicated the Cleveland Clinic, but because of where it's situated, every room in the hospital, I don't know how they did this, it's true engineering, faces the water. And it looks so nice and peaceful, and it does not feel like a hospital at all. It feels like a resort. But so basically you got the Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi is what it is. All right. Now, if you look in the assignments area, I need to turn it on for you. You're going to see an assignment called Final Project written, and then there's going to be a part that says Final Project Presentation. Okay. Again, let me turn it on for you so that you can see, and you may want to pull it up as I explain it, or it could also, you can also go back and look at it later. All right. All right, there is a rubric in there that I need to make say summer. Let's see, due date. Oh, wait a minute, bear with me just a second. I got to change a few things so that you can see it. All right, you should be able to see it now. So when we look at this document, it's basically asking you 4 things, but you are going to go in depth with it. All right, International Marketing Project. All right, and it reads as so. For this project, we will focus on starting a business in an international market. You will come up with a business idea and investigate how to launch your business in Dubai, UAE. The project will consist of 2 parts, a written and a presentation. That's what you're going to show up to do here on the 17th. Okay? So basically, there are 2 main ways to do business in Dubai. Okay, and I'm going to explain those to you. You will tell me which method you chose and the steps to enter the market. We will discuss these options within the units. You will take the information discussed in class along with your own research to complete the project. This project will consist of a written and the presentation. Each portion is worth 100 points each. Okay. Below you will find the requirements for the written portion. Each portion is worth 25 points. For each section, you should have 5 elements that you explain in detail. Each element will be graded on a scale of 1 to 5 based on your ability to explain the element, where 5 is excellent and 1 is poor. In each section, I expect you to use marketing terms learned from this course and or previous marketing courses. So, in the first section, you're going to tell me about the history and the background information. Okay? Here you will tell me about the history, background of the country as it relates to the country's trade and economy. I already gave you a starting point on some of this if you was listening. How they used to make their money in Dubai? Pearls and fish. How they make it now? All right. But you need to expand on that. Okay. Two, current snapshot. Okay, here you will tell me about the current trade and economic situation of the country. Do a compare and contrast with the past. Three, give me a business pitch. You will tell me about your business. You will need to explain your business and define the target audience. You will also tell me why your business is needed in Dubai and how you expect to sustain it. Okay? So, and I'm not looking for a particular company. It can be anything you want it to be. But you're going to have to tell me why it's needed there and where you're going to put it. And I'm going to explain the where you're going to put it. Okay? Which goes into section 4. In our class discussions and your research, particularly in your your Dubai homework case study, you should have discovered ways a non-Emirati can start a business. Discuss the options here. Okay, traditionally, there are basically 2 ways to do business in Dubai. Remember how I said a minute ago that the government really takes care of their people. Emiratis are guaranteed land there. Okay, the land is owned by the Emiratis. Okay, the government, and then they give land to their people. There is no path to citizenship for a non-Emirati. So you know, like how you can go, people can go through the naturalization process here. They can take the test or whatever the other requirements are to become a U.S. citizen. Yeah, that's not happening over there. Okay. So traditionally, the 2 ways to get into business there was, 1, you have to have an Emirati partner. Okay. Is to go into business with an Emirati, but they have to own the majority of the business. Now, why would somebody do that? Okay. And some of the reason is because it's such a hot area, not only for tourism, but it is also becoming an epicenter for business now. Okay, so it's like, this is where you want to be, and everybody wants to be here, and this is the risk you take to be here. Another way is to go into the ports. Okay, or free zones, and there are 2 types of free zones in Dubai. One, like I mentioned, are the ports. Okay, I got a video for y'all about the ports. The Jebel Ali free zones is what the ports are called. It's run by the government. Here's the thing about the ports. Companies are there, you can build, you can make, but you have to ship your product away from the ports. The products cannot come back into the city limits. Okay? One of the visions for Dubai, and you will see Ali say this in his video, is where East meets West. We're the center of the world, and we connect all of the world. So theoretically, it's easy for them to ship to Africa, other parts of Asia, and if they had to sail around Africa to ship to our side of the world. Okay, so but if you're going to go into the ports, so the Jebel Ali free zones, the requirement is you must ship your product. Why would a company sign up to do that? Okay, one of those reasons is because again, it's shipping, it's a high sought after destination, and it's very close to international markets everywhere. You know, harder to get to us, but pretty much everywhere they can ship to easier, right? So there's that. Another free zone are the cities. Okay, so within Dubai, you will see these cities set up. Like there's healthcare city, and everything that has to do with healthcare is in that city. But you'll see international companies there. There's Internet City, for example. Dell is there, Lenovo, Samsung, Apple, those type of companies are in Internet City. Some are in Media City. In Media City, there's CNN Dubai, J&M Marketing, BBDO. You'll find a lot of marketing and media firms there. I will never, ever forget that in January 2016, I was standing in the Dubai Situation Room when the election results came down, when it was Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. And I went to bed not knowing who was going to be the president. And think, why did I schedule this visit on this day? But I thought it was going to be over. They're 8 hours ahead of us. I thought the election was going to be over and the results were going to be final before we walked in there. They were not. They were not. And I had 10 students with me, and they were exactly half and half. Half Democrat, half Republican. And I said, look, we're not going to be international news. This is not a news class. It was a marketing class. And we're not going to be the situation today. But so that was a unique experience. We found out the results standing in the situation room, and it was an interesting situation, to say the least. Okay, so then half of them were happy, half of them were not. But as a professional, you have to learn how to manage those emotions in public and in general. Period. Right. But you have companies like that in Media City. There's Fashion City, where there are a lot of the fashion designers and clothing and so forth. Okay, so whatever type of company you want, and I'm not going to say, oh, you can't do that type of company. You're just going to have to tell me where it's going to be. Is it going to be in one of the free zones, like the ports of the city? And if it's in the port, remember you have to ship it. If you're going to go into one of the cities, then what are the ramifications around it being in that particular city? It's got to identify with the industry. Or if you're going to go into business with an Emirati partner. Okay? So you check the boxes and tell me what you're going to do. So from that down, you'll see the rest of the rubric. For that, I'm looking for creativity. This is a marketing class, marketing people. So in your presentation, creativity and uniqueness, thorough ideas, appropriate look and color. I need to be able to see the PowerPoint. Yes, you're going to have to do a PowerPoint. And it must be legible, clear, and all that good stuff. You've got to present. It says all group members. It may be hard to do over the summer as a group project. I've done it as group and individual. I think I'm going to vow for individual so that I don't put the group pressure on y'all in the summertime. I think it's a pretty simple, straightforward project. I'm looking that you use marketing terms and you cover all the points and provide quality information. Down from that, in next rubric, you'll see most of you have seen this rubric before, is the oral presentation rubric, where you're rated on a scale of 1 to 5 on each of these elements. Again, where 5 is great and 1 is poor. Content shows excellent understanding of topic and on down. Volume, I want you to project and speak clearly. Eye posture and contact. I already said speak clear enthusiasm. You're trying to sell me this thing. Okay, this is marketing. People expect marketing people to be happy, perky, bubbly people. But I know everybody is not like that, right? Because we have to have the people in the background doing things too. And that is fine. But when you are presenting and trying to sell something, yes, you need to be enthusiastic. There's nothing else enthusiastic about your work and what you've put together. Okay, vocabulary, preparedness, you stay on topic, and evaluate your peers. With this one, that means I expect you to be here. Okay, your classmates deserve an audience. Y'all, I'm only requiring you to meet 2 days out of this semester, and the presentation day is that day. All right, any questions? Okay. Oh, absolutely. And again, if I apologize that this is not working because ideally I'd be showing it to you while I'm talking, but it is uploaded and you will find it under the assignments tab, titled Final Project Written. So what I'm asking you to do, and let's be clear on this, is that you do have to turn in a written portion and turn in a PowerPoint. There's also one that says final presentation. Okay, in the written part, you all can write on what I gave you. Just give me, I really want no more than a page per question. This should be no more than 4 pages. A paragraph to a page could answer this. Okay, for each of the 4 questions that I'm asking you, and then you'd also upload your PowerPoint. All right, what else? Any other questions? So y'all good? Y'all got this? All right. Any questions about the weekly schedule, or do you feel that you can follow it straightforward, or no? You have any questions about that?
So we have class Mondays and Wednesdays?
Yes, the course is scheduled to be a Monday, Wednesday course. We are meeting today, and we are meeting again on July 17th. So in between, you will work on the assignments.
So wait, so we not have a class Monday?
That is correct. We are only meeting 2 days, today and the 17th for the final project. So you will work on your units for the rest of the term. I'll be available through email and phone. If y'all call my office phone, it's going to ring my cell phone. So if you have questions, let me know. If you need a one-on-one session, or I need to, if I see that everybody's struggling on something and we need to do a session, we can do it via Collaborate if need be. But otherwise, everything's online. This course is designed for the student to be able to be self-sufficient and just go through it. Everything that I would say to you is already built in the units. There are some videos in there. I will say this, and those of you who have taken a course from me probably already know this, but so I introduce this to some and remind others. When you go through the units, they are going to have like required check marks. And there's going to be one spot where the actual PowerPoints are that says optional. And with that is because for ADA compliance, I can't require somebody with a visual impairment to read that. Everything else is spoken in a way, but I also have where you see it says some of the supplementary videos are me or another instructor reading the PowerPoint. So if anybody needs that, that is there. Any other questions? every week, every week. So it'll look like that. It opens at the beginning of the week, and the assignments are due at the end of the week on Thursdays. Now that we have had our initial meeting, I will start every week off here forth with saying, "Hey, it's week whatever, and this is what's due." Just a reminder, this due then and then and then. But also, you have your calendar that's already set with those items as well. If you look in the weekly schedule, that's a part of the syllabus. Under the syllabus tab, all of that is there. Anything else? Any other questions?